Hi, so in today's video I'm going to show you in ScanNCut Canvas how to make this twist and turn card. Now once you've made the basic shape in ScanNCut Canvas, you can obviously resize it to fit any size card that will fit on your mat. But I just want to show you how to assemble it once you've made it. So basically you'll have a design something like this with score lines in once you've followed the tutorial in Canvas. You need to fold your card in half using a mounting fold so that the right side of your card is facing you. Then lay it down on your table, and the end that's got the squares, fold that in a valley fold, which is the 2 3/4 inch score line you're going to put in Canvas. Then on the 4-inch score line, fold that so you've got a valley fold. And then on your diagonals, they need to be mounting folds. So basically just fold them so that they form a mounting. By a valley, I mean that your fold is this way, and a mounting, your fold is that way. That's just if you're new to card making. And fold both your diagonals on the mounting. And what you should then be able to do is hold this end together and push those two mounting folds into that valley, so you have something that resembles this, and then fold that back. It may look like this. All you need to do is push on this corner if it doesn't fold into place automatically for you. But the beauty of doing this in ScanNCut Canvas and using the dash line that I show you how to use is that it should just drop into place for you. I also showed in Canvas that I made the matting layers, which are shown here in the pattern paper, and then the scallop circle is a circle within the machine, and the circle is as well, and I just matted those together and put them on the front. So that's the card. So you can either open it like that and write your greeting, or you can fold it this way and open it like that. But as I say, today's tutorial is going to be how to actually make the card in ScanNCut Canvas. Okay, so I'm in ScanNCut Canvas, and we're going to start by making a rectangle from the basic shapes, which is 8 inches by 5.5 inches. So I'm going to choose the rectangle, come to the properties box. I'm going to untick maintain aspect ratio. I'm going to put 5.5 in the first box, and then in the second box I'm going to put 8, and that should give us an 8 inch by 5.5 inch base card. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a rectangle again. I'm just going to hold the shift key down and rotate it. Now I'm just going to drag this rectangle out so it's bigger than the base card in height. And this is going to be like my guide, if you like, for putting in the score lines. So the first score line that we need to put in vertically on this base card is at 2 3/4 inches. So on this rectangle that I've got here, which is selected, I'm going to come to the properties box. I'm not bothered about the height, I just want the width to be 2 3/4 inches, so that's 2.75, and I'm going to say enter. And if I look down here, it tells me it's 2.7 wide. I'm going to select both. I'm going to come to edit and align left. So I've got the left hand edges lined up. Now, I'm just going to zoom in on this area because this is where we're going to put the first score line. So I'm going to come to the path icon. I'm going to click once here. And you can see now I've got a line coming off it. I'm going to hold the shift key down, which gives me a perfectly straight line. And I'm going to double click here. And that's anchored that line. Now while it's selected, I'm going to come to the properties box. The first thing I'm going to do is make it a cut line. I'm going to assign it a dash line, and I'm going to use the smallest dash line, which is the first one directly under the solid line. And while I've also got this box open and it is still selected, I'm going to select the colour and I'm going to make it a deep pink in the hope that you'll see it better on screen. So now I'm just going to click anywhere on the page and I'll try and zoom in, and if you can see, I've got a dash line. Now I'm going to select this dash line, and using the arrows on my keyboard I'm going to move it over to the right so it lands directly on top of this black line, like so. Then I'm just going to go back to fit to matte. Now you can't see it, but it is still there, the dash line. So I'm going to select this big rectangle, and with it selected I'm going to come back to the properties box, and then this time I'm going to change its width from 2.75 to 4.25, so 4 1/4, and hit return. I'm just going to close that box down. Now it's still lined up on the left because I didn't move it, but it's now moved to 4 1/4. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to come to the path icon. I'm going to click here where this vertical line meets this horizontal base card. Hold my shift key down, drag my straight line out and double click to anchor it. That anchors it and selects it at the same time. I'm going to come to the properties box, I'm going to make it a cut line, and again I'm going to choose the first of the dashed lines, and again I'm just going to make it bright pink and close the properties box down. I'm just going to click anywhere on the map which deselects that, and I'm going to take the magnifying glass and zoom in. Because I've zoomed in and it's zoomed into such a high percentage, I can now select that dash line without affecting any of the other parts on the mat. And again I can use the arrow on my keyboard to bring it over so it sits centrally on that black line. I'm just going to go back to fit to matte. Now I'm going to select this rectangle, and that's the reason I made it bigger than the base card so that it would be easy to select. And with that selected, I'm now just going to hit the delete on my keyboard, or you can right click and hit delete. Now I'm going to draw an imaginary box around all the 3 shapes, and I'm going to right click and hit group. So they're now all one group. So the next thing I'm going to do is come back to the path icon. I'm going to left click somewhere on this left edge, hold the shift key down, drag out a perfectly straight line and double click to anchor the line. Now again, while it's selected, I'm going to come to cut and make it a dash line, and again I'm just going to make it pink in the hope that when I zoom in a few minutes you'll be able to see it all better. Now I'm going to select both the shapes, select edit center and edit middle. So now when I click away you'll see that it's put that horizontal line directly in the middle of the card. Now I'm going to select everything and make that a group. So this is all one group now. So I've got the base card with a dash line scored at 2 3/4 and a dash line scored at 4 1/4, and I've got a horizontal line scored directly in the middle of this card. Now I'm going to come back to the path icon, and this time I'm going to click here at the top of the 2 3/4 inch, and then I'm just going to drag out a line without holding the shift key so you can see this moves. I'm going to anchor it at the middle point here by left clicking and then drag out again and double click at the bottom to anchor it. And while it's selected, I'm going to come back to the properties box. I'm going to make it a cut line and I'm going to make it a dash line. And I'm going to close the box down and I'm just going to zoom in on this area. And then again, I'm going to zoom in here. I want to make sure that this line I've just put in meets this horizontal fold line. And it does. So I'm going to click away. Now again, I'm going to select everything and right click and group. And that is the basic card made that I've just shown you how to fold at the beginning of the video. Now the only other thing that I did was to add some matting layers. So select a rectangle from the basic shapes and then I positioned it and then just dragged it in. And again, you can zoom in on this area and then you can position this rectangle within these dotted lines until you're happy with how your matting layer is going to look. And then I did exactly the same on the squares. So I grabbed a square and positioned it and dragged it out until I was happy with the distance all the way around. I may want to take it back. And then if I go back to fit to view, they're my two matting layers that I've just shown you that were in pattern paper. So I've put them on the mat separately. And then I gave it a name up here. I saved it here. And then I was able to download it and cut it. So I hope you found that helpful. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you don't already do so. Make sure you've got the bell notification icon turned on and that way you'll be notified when I post a video or when I'm doing a live stream. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.